At this point in the production of the first 13 episodes, it was necessary to return to Portmeirion to complete every location scene required. The return visit commenced on Sunday the 5th of March 1967, but it lacked the extravagance of the original work. For the scenes involving number 6, Frank Mayer did his usual job of doubling for McGowan. Only one mini-moke was taken up to Wales and no helicopter was used. Only about 36 local extras were recruited, some of them doubling for principal cast members who were not present. Camera operator for this shoot was Robert Monks, who explains that this was a much shorter visit.
I think we were there for about a fortnight, and he was up for about 2 weekends. So far as I remember, it was David Tomlin did most of the direction of the additional material there, because by that time he'd become very much involved in the whole, well, he was involved very much from the beginning, but much more so by then.
Also present on location during March 1967 was Patrick Jackson, who had been invited back to direct his 3rd episode, Hammer into Anvil. The script called for some special day for night footage, which the director needed to supervise. Seen here in rushes are some unused angles intended for these sequences. Despite his false start as a prisoner director, Michael Truman was asked to direct the final episode of this first series. It was called Many Happy Returns.
Now, I have a recollection that Michael was down in Portmeirion in March, but I don't know what, Michael wasn't well at the time. I think he's since died. And I don't know, it was one of these things that I was never quite clear what happened. I worked with him for a few days, but I think he just disappeared. It was one of these unhappy things that he and Pat just didn't see eye to eye after whatever way Michael was directing things. And I don't think Michael was in the best of form at the time. I think there had been problems and personal problems. And it was, he just didn't, I think, stamp his authority on the thing. That was it.
Having finally lost Michael Truman as director, Patrick McGowan himself decided to take over rather than risk employing another director with no previous experience of the unique style of the series. Note that even during March, the 2nd unit camera crew, headed by Robert Monks, were still shooting studio inserts for many earlier episodes. Seen here in rushes are shots done for It's Your Funeral, principal shooting for which finished in late January, inserts for A, B, and C, and A Change of Mind, both of which had their principal shooting completed by February, and several shots for The Schizoid Man, which had its studio work shot in early January. On the same strip of rushes, representing one day's work, several inserts were done for Hammer into Anvil, including a close-up of the message that is attached to the pigeon. However, this message is encoded in letters instead of the numbers seen in the finished episode. During the shooting of Many Happy Returns, the 2nd unit went on location to the south of England. Robert Monks remembers in particular the police roadblock scene,
which caused some trouble at the time because through some oversight, the police in Dover hadn't been advised that we were setting up a police checkpoint. And we were set up with the police checkpoint and filming it when a real police vehicle arrived on the scene. And they were very unhappy and very displeased. And there were threats of banning us completely from the place. But someone talked very nicely to them, and I think it was Bernie Williams, and convinced them that it was a genuine oversight. We weren't trying to do anything on them.